Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another trading session. Well, it is Tuesday. We had some fundamental news about the conflict in between Israel and Iran yesterday afternoon, I think, and it really made the market to rally to the upside, as you can see here. So I hope you you didn't get caught in this swing low here. This was some kind of a Judas swing here before the New York PM session. So I hope you guys are fine and you didn't play this short until, I don't know, reaching for in hopes to reach for something below the NWOG. So right now, price has been doing nothing special since Asia. I can see something like this happening. So accumulation here, right on Asia. Eventually, a manipulation to the upside on London. And if this 15-minute fair value gap fails, I guess we will distribute to the downside here. But in order to this happen, I need to see something bearish here, some displacement bearish, and eventually a fail of this 15-minute fair value gap here. So this might be one of the plans on a high time frame, and on a long term. I'm clearly bullish now, because we have, as you can see here, we have relative equal highs here at all-time highs. So I guess all-time highs are the next target. If you look into some of these projections here, if you look at the last swing to the downside here, and if you project it to the upside, you can clearly see that -4 standard deviation is all-time highs. It has a lot of conflicts with all-time highs. So right now, I think that we will progress to the upside, but in the meantime, it is possible for price to do some kind of a retrace to the downside. If you look into standard deviation projections, you can see that price clearly stopped at -1.5, and it started to consolidate here. So it is some kind of acceptable for price to reach for -0.5, since we have some inefficiencies here, and we have these Asia lows as relative equal highs. But if price fails to retrace, I guess it will continue higher. It will disrespect this NWOG as well and keep climbing higher eventually until -2.5 standard deviation here. So yeah, this is the main plan here. Waiting for some kind of confirmation about if price really will try to retrace to the downside, or if it will continue to the upside. Keep in mind that we will have at 10 a.m. Powell will testify, so it will probably shake the markets a bit, shake price action a bit, and keep in mind about that, because sometimes it can be really tricky, and if you engage on prior action, on prior price action to news, you can really get hurt from it. So keep that in mind, and I eventually recommend you to wait for the news release for Fed Powell to testify, and just take anything after it and not before it. So keep that in mind. I will mark the 950, the 950 macro until 1010 as well. So 950, 1010, this is the macro that I would like to explore. But since we have 10 a.m. news, it can eventually be necessary to wait after 1010, but we will see. So right now price is inside a consolidation, as you can see here. If we look into lower time frames, it's just accumulating. So now I'm waiting for some type of a manipulation to the upside or to the downside, since right now it's kind of 50-50. But I really would like to see price going higher, eventually take this high here out and then displace to the downside. If we take sell side first and then start to progress to the upside, then it will be some type of a plan B. But right now, price is just accumulating inside this this range here, so nothing to do, honestly. And it can eventually accumulate until 10 a.m. since we will have 10 a.m. news. It can eventually accumulate until there. So be prepared for it and don't try to chase price or to take some kind of position ahead of price of the news driver. So so in 1 minute we will have the 9:30 open. Price will open with a big opening range gap, so it can be tricky. So price just opened here. Yeah, this is a 9:30 candle, so open at 9:30. 9:30 open. And it seems like it's starting to manipulate to the downside. We will see. Or it might just stay inside this range and do nothing for now. We will see. Looking into NQ. NQ is heading to the downside as well. Let me just check the regular trading session. Yeah, we have a big opening range gap. It's a gap for about 40 handles, not that big. We already had bigger ones. Yeah, on regular trading hours, we did not take this buy side liquidity here, which is somewhere. It's kind of laggy here. Here it is. Yeah, we didn't take the 26th February high on regular trading hours, just electronic trading hours. So we might go visit it once again, and then let's see if we displace to the downside or if we continue to the upside. Yeah, but so far price is still inside this range. So I will take out some of the brightness of this, or take out some of the opacity. So for me, price is still kind of accumulating here. It can eventually accumulate until Fed Powell starts to speak. So it can take a while here. Let's see if we can get a closure here. And yes, we can. This is the first presented fair value gap here inside, right at 8:30 and right above 9:30 open as well. Yeah, and as you can see, price is still inside this accumulation, so nothing to do here. NQ just took this high here, so we have some kind of an SMT in between NQ and ES. So SMT. But I think it's too soon to do anything here. We still have to wait. Price is still inside no man's land. So this was an inverted 15-minute fair value gap here. Let me check once again the regular trading hours. Yeah, price has not come to this buy side liquidity here. Still, let me check the 15 minutes or eventually even the 1 hour. So here we have it. Yeah, this one here was not tagged in on regular trading hours. Let's wait. Yeah, since we are inside accumulation, I will take out that SMT. Price is still inside of it. So nothing to do here. Here we have a bullish PD array, bullish fair value gap here. Price still inside this range. If you look into the 15-minute, you can see clearly that price is inside of a range since 6 in the morning. So it's been here for about 3 hours. So I'm willing to wait and see if price really wants to get out of that range, or if it wants to still be inside of it and stay inside of it. Yeah, seems like ES is a bit stronger than NQ. NQ leaving price a little bit behind. Not that much, honestly. But yeah, just a little bit. Now let's see what price does as soon as it hits these highs here. I'm curious to see if price really wants to dig higher, or if we will respect the range and move inside of it once again. So zooming in right before 9:30, you can see the price accumulated 15 minutes prior to the opening, to the open. As soon as it opens, it came down here. It took sell side liquidity and expanded to the upside. So this here could eventually be an entry. But since we have a PD array right above us, and since price is still ranging, we're still ranging here inside. It's not that certain of a position. So price is trying to leave the range. And Q as well, heading to the upside. It took these highs already, but we are heading to the 15-minute inverted fair value gap here. So now let me see where price can eventually go to retrace. Notice how price just came here. And it was kind of rejected right away. We're still moving higher. Kind of left the consolidation box here, as you can see, but is now facing the inverted 15-minute fair value gap. So let's see if it really holds or if price really wants to move higher. It never came for event horizon here. We have another INWOG right here on the upside. Yeah, the only thing that is being respected right now is the 15-minute fair value gap here. As you can see, this 15-minute fair value gap. So yeah, let's wait a bit more. We have to keep in mind that at 10 a.m. we will have Powell testifying, so it can be tricky and it can eventually move the market as well. Let's take a measure of projection here and see where price may go from here. So as you can see here, if this was the manipulation to the downside, that will eventually take price to the upside, you can see that we have some kind of confluence here. -2 standing for London highs and -2.5 standing for the upper portion of the NWAG. We are eventually approaching 950 macro as well. Price coming back down into the range, as you can see here. So let's see if price is really just coming inside a range to retest something, or if we will go lower like I was expecting. So far, it made a lot of damage here. It came to equilibrium of the range. But honestly, not liking how price just came inside range. It kind of went to this 50-minute fair value gap. I'll take this out here. So we have displacement to the downside. We have a presentation of a bearish fair value gap here that as of now is being respected. Price reacted here at the equilibrium of the range. It reacted here at this fair value gap, but yeah, we are inside of the range once again. So for now, it's kind of hard to frame anything. But yeah, we respected here, this fair value gap here. This could eventually be the manipulation leg here. So let me just reframe what's here. If this is the manipulation leg, we can eventually expect price to move to minus 2.5, but I will still hold and will still wait. Yeah, price so far is holding equilibrium. We still have 6 minutes until Powell speaks, so I guess I will wait. There's no point to take any position 6 minutes before a news driver. So if price really wants to go lower, I will probably have the chance after the news driver. So we are back inside this range. Now I want to see if the first presented fair value gap really holds or not. So far, price is taking some time here to digest these OT levels and these bullish PD arrays. The bullish scenario is still in place here, is not kind of invalidated. Now we have some kind of a bearish reaction here. So the first presented fair value gap is trying to be disrespected. OT levels are explored until the last level. And ES is really pushing to the downside here. While NQ is trying to hold inside a range. But yeah, we are still inside a range. Just let me take measure of how many handles did we move. Yeah, just 6 5-6 handles, it's not that much. If we want to move lower until Asia lows, we still have about 13 to 17 handles to move, so no rush. So the first presented fair value got inverted. We still have 2 minutes. Yeah, price is pushing to the downside here. And Q and ES doesn't seem to be symmetrical. At this moment, we have some kind of a SMT in between them. So there comes the news. Price is trying to move and get out of the of here, trying to eventually displace lower. Let's see if we get another retest on the first presented fair value gap. There we go. And now I would like to see some kind of reaction to this retest, if it wants to come higher or eventually lower. This got in. This one was inverted, so where is the inversion? It's here. So at this point, we took the highs, we took the lows, and prices kind of hard here to read. As you can see, price is trying to get inside of the range once again. We had a retest on the first presented fair value gap. Price came to equilibrium here. So these OT levels. I just don't like how NQ is presenting itself. So NQ is still inside the range, so it can do whatever it wants. But here we have 830 and 930 being rejected. First presented fair value gap being rejected as well. This inverted fair value gap being retested here. Price came to equilibrium. So I would say that this is prone to go to the downside here. Reaching for Asia lows probably. But yeah, I'm not sure about it, honestly, because on the higher time frames, you can see that price is still ranging, especially on the 15-minute. See that this is why I did not play the short, because honestly, its price is still inside the range. It took the highs, it took the lows, and it came back here. So yeah, this to me is some type of a seek and destroy action. That's why it took so long here to take any type of action, and that's why I did not take any action yet, because honestly, this is not the ideal price action. So if you look into NQ is trying to get above all of this, while ES is trying to get lower. Let me check where the first presented fair value gap is on NQ. So we are retesting the first presented fair value gap on NQ as well. Yeah, at the moment things are not that clear. That's why I didn't take any type of action. So there we go. Nice reaction here from the first presented fair value gap here. A nice rejection, price came to equilibrium. This plays to the downside here. But NQ is, yeah, NQ is trying to do the same here. Yeah, price just taking lows, reverting right away, getting inside a range once again. Yeah, this to me is a typical seek and destroy action. It's kind of hard to interact with these type of conditions. Yeah, the only thing that eventually we could have taken was this short here, but it was pre-news. We had 10 a.m. news, so it kind of violated the protocol, and that's why I did not took any action here somewhere here. Um, yeah, and I'm kind of glad of it about it because I would have lost some mental capital trying to figure out what's going on with price action. And yeah, price is coming back once again inside the range. So yeah, this is the typical seek and destroy action that I don't like to play, honestly. So far, I'm glad I anticipated it. But yes, the only thing that we could have taken here was this short, but it was pre-news, pre Powell testifies. Um, so it would not. This was not meant to be taken. It is what it is. Would have been a. Let me just check here if I would enter. Yeah, I could have made about 10 handles. But yeah, it's not worth it because price is kind of weird right now. ES and NQ are not behaving the same. If you zoom out a bit, we are still inside of a range here. So things are not that clear. Price can eventually come lower. I'm not saying that it won't, but yeah, we can have some tricky action inside of this range. And I'm not willing to play this like that, honestly. If you look into the 15-minute, you can clearly see that price has been ranging since 6 a.m. in the morning. So it's kind of hard to frame something when price is just doing something like this on NQ. You can see it very clearly. On ES, it's kind of a bearish consolidation, but it is something like this on NQ on the 15 minutes. So makes no sense to participate on something that you're not sure about and you're not that inclined that it will happen. I honestly framed a bearish scenario for my bias. Was expecting Asia lows to be taken. Price really manipulated to the upside here, but the move to the downside is not that clean. It can be tricky to engage with something like this when you have candles that move about 10 handles in a fraction of a second, and then yeah, they retrace right back. So these are hard condition. These are hard trading conditions. So keep that in mind. Don't try to believe in what the market is doing on some type of a first attempt. Here, I believe a lot of people try to long when when price just came outside the range, and as soon as it came outside the range, it just dropped down. Then the same thing here when price displaced. A lot of people try to short, but right now you can see that price is trying to roll back to the upside. And if you want to play those turtle soups, I'm not that kind of trader that plays turtle soups, but this is I guess this is the best scenario for turtle soups, where you just have to sell the tops and buy the bottoms um, until it fails. That's usually the strategy for turtle soups. As soon as it fails, your turtle soup just ended. But yeah, I'm not that type of trader, honestly. Right now we have some type of an SMT in between the lows of NQ and ES as well. If you look into the 4 hour, there's also an SMT at the lows in between ES and NQ. So for those who like to play inversions, this might be the ideal place here to play along here. Yeah, the Q is really pushing to the upside. ES as well. So we are in back inside the range. There's nothing we can do here, honestly. It's kind of frustrating because price action has been clean outside my time window of action, and yeah, New York AM sessions have been not that clear. Well, so far we have breaker right at the first presented fair value gap here. We have the first presented one here as well. So right now, if we could move inside the breaker once again, so here we have a lot of confidence that this could eventually hold as a support, because we have the upper portion of the 15-minute fair value gap, 8:30 open, 9:30 open, first presented fair value gap, and the breaker. So this breaker right here could eventually give us some type of entry. But yeah, it's kind of hard to frame something here. We have this fair value gap here. This could eventually give us a retrace, or price can just shoot to the upside and suppress it without hesitation. Just let me take a measure of projection as well, just to see where price eventually can go. Yeah, it can. So NQ touching the breaker, ES is kind of a bit above it. Look that we rejected midnight open, event horizon, and this was the macro that gave us the lower move. So it would be interesting to see price coming back here, but I don't think that we will have that happen. Yeah, price is just push into the upside here. Yes, not giving us any type of retraces here. And now let's see if price really wants to hold this momentum, or because we are already at the top of the range once again here, as you can see. And now let's figure out if price really wants to come below inside the middle portion of the range, or if it will shoot to the upside. Well, another reaction here on ES. Let's see if the breaker holds or not. But seems like this market is doomed to be a seek and destroy today. Let's see. Yeah, nice reaction here from the breaker. But honestly, NQ is not convincing me. And whenever you have a symmetrical behavior and a symmetrical behavior, it's kind of low probability. Just let me take another measure of projection here. Yeah, it has some confluence here. But the only thing that it's kind of preventing me from taking this setup is really this back and forth action that has been since 6 a.m. In normal cases, I would take this. But yeah, since we have this back and forth action, this can eventually be a low probability. Yeah, NQ is still pushing a bit. At this point, I will wait for the next macro, 10-15 macro. That shall give us um, a clearer perspective about what price wants to do. But if it doesn't give us anything clearer, yeah, I guess this session is doomed to be a seek and destroy session. So I'm not here to be hurt by the market. So I will just protect myself and eventually not engage with it. Because every time I try to engage with a low probability market, it tends to hurt me. Let me just check how many handles this would be. Yeah, this would be a 10 handle move. Let me just check the 1 hour. Why is it not opening the 1 hour time frame? Just let me check here. So yeah, looking at the 1 hour, we kind of grinded lower here. We are still respecting a 1 hour fair value gap. We touched the order block here. And I guess we can still move to the upside, but there's still a lot of liquidity here below. So this can still be a back and forth action, taking out the liquidity below Asia and eventually move to the upside. Yeah, this is not a high probability market, honestly. Yeah. Well, but I'm glad that I kind of anticipated this range bound price action. I'm glad I anticipated it, and I'm glad that I did not interact with any type of movements. This is the perfect market for those who like to play turtle soups. Turtle soup usually is um, is played outside the range. So as soon as you get outside the range and you get some type of an inversion, you have your in this case you have your short triggered, and you will probably seek for the last low here. And as soon as it comes outside the range here, you have your breaker. You can enter inside the breaker and eventually take out the next high. Yeah, but this is not my cup of tea, honestly. I don't like to play turtle soups because, yeah, it works until it stops working. So unfortunately, we had a boring market today. I don't think that the next macro will give us anything interesting. But I will wait, and I will try to see what price really wants to do. It will probably not give us an expansion move. But yeah, it's kind of annoying to just watch uh just watch this type of price action. So there we go. Price moving higher right now. Yeah, we could have entered here on a breaker, but yeah, this is not my type of market, honestly. It's very hard to frame something here. Yeah, nice movement here. The price once again here at the 15-minute fair value gap here. I'm curious to see if this will really hold or if we will come back down. If price really comes back down, this is a non-tradable session. Let's see if it holds at minus 0.5 here. So this one is being inverted as well. Yeah, but if you look into the into the 4-hour, you can see that some type of a retrace can eventually happen. And if I move into the 1-hour, yeah, we have still 13 minutes inside this candle, so and we have 4 minutes before the next macro as well. Price is kind of starting to react at that inverted fair value gap. So we are 3 minutes ahead of the next macro. I'm curious to see if price really holds this bullish momentum or if we will retrace back into the range. If we retrace back into the range, I will consider this a non-tradable session. because it's kind of a, yeah, there are some opportunities here, but it's not that expansion that you want. It's just those these low hanging fruits that you can eventually take out of the market. The price is now retracing a bit. Here we have that retrace. Yeah, there's some kind of a high resistance, as you can see here. Let's just see how far this retrace will go, or if we will kind of lose this bullish momentum and get inside a range once again. I guess the answer is not far away from us. So far the inverted fair value gap is kind of holding here, but yeah, I'm kind of suspicious about this market. We are entering 1050 macro as well. We left some buy side liquidity here, but NQ took it. So here we have some type of an SMT in between NQ and ES. So this is really an SMT here. So if these PD arrays, these bullish PD arrays, if they get inverted, that would be a sign of a move lower, since we have an SMT here. But so far they are holding. the inverted fair value gap is holding as well. And so the bullish plan is still in place here. The next target would be -1 standard deviation. But if you look into NQ is not like ES. Seems like it wants to drag price a little bit lower. Now SMT is on the lows in between ES and NQ, but nice reaction here. Yeah, price made a nice reaction here. It's holding so far. But it's kind of hard to trust the market that's been ranging for about 6 hours. It's kind of hard. Not 6, but 5 hours. For about 5 hours, it's been ranging. You never know when it will stop ranging. So another SMT at the highs once again. Yeah, this is some type of a high resistance, and I'm not willing to play this, honestly. See, prices waited for more longs to get in. And if you look into ES and NQ, we clearly have some type of SMT at the highs. So yeah, things are not inviting as I'm saying for quite a while. Yeah, there we go. See? Back into the range once again, taking out all the longs, and we will probably seek for lower prices, or we will still be inside the range. So so let me just check here. How many handles did we move? Six handles. So not that much, but it can really hurt for those who were eventually longing this high resistance. So price pushing once again here. It really came down right before 11. Uh, I would like to see. I would. It would be interesting if prices gave us a some type of an inversion of a bearish fair value gap here, but it just wicked, and these type of wicks are hard to play. And yeah, price just took this buy side here. So this long would have worked. I don't know if I could have um, handled the long, because this wick here, it really ran down a lot of stops. So it activated a lot of stops. So I guess if I had my stop at break even at that point, I would have been burnt, and have, have gotten my position closed at break even. But yeah, this is totally a high resistance run. Price action has been kind of hard to decipher on this zigzag. But honestly, I think I made a good tape read, despite not interacting and not engaging with the market. I think I've made a good tape read. I prevented some of old losses that I've made here in these type of conditions. So yeah, I'm content with it, honestly, because this is a hard market to read and to drive. I can see myself doing a lot of things that I should not do, especially here or here. Eventually, somewhere here with this displacement to the downside. And now I kind of held myself back, and yeah, I will not interact with it. So I'm content with it, and I'm proud about this development as a trader and as somebody that knows that he needs to wait for something clear to happen and not just throw a dice into the market and see what happens. So yeah, buy side liquidity is taken here. We have some kind of an inversion here as well. But as you can see, price is really, look at it. I think it's time to to close the charts, because this is hard. See, these conditions, whenever you see price doing exactly what it's doing for the past, I don't know, 2 hours, yeah, just close your charts. You will end up burnt. So whenever you see, I will give you a tip. Whenever you see something like this, whenever you see something like this happening, I I personally call it a megaphone pattern. Whenever you see something like this, it's it's just like a megaphone. Yeah, I invite you to just close your charts, because these conditions are very hard to trade. And if you are some type of a beginner, um, yeah, just wait for another session, or just wait for the next day, because um, it will probably deliver some better conditions to trade, and not this type of wicks to the downside, to the upside. Yeah, even if you had long here, holding this position would be a nightmare, because you have a lot of consolidation here, and suddenly you wick to the downside, which eventually could have triggered your stop loss here. So yeah, it makes no sense to work on days where price is just not clean enough. It's kind of a shame, because whenever I'm sleeping, price just makes these runs to the upside. Um, it just makes these clean runs to the upside, and whenever I'm trying to work with price, see, but it just gives us Yeah, it's kind of mean, but as a trader, we have to accept these types of conditions, and we have to say and demand from the market better conditions to engage with. I'm not satisfied with these types of conditions. So if I'm not satisfied with these types of conditions, I will just close my charts and look for the next day or eventually for another session. Personally, I don't look for another session. I'm just looking at the New York AM session. But if things really start to shift like this, it's been like this the last couple of month. Um, I've been noticing that the New York AM session has been very hard to trade, and the New York PM session has been quite clean and quite easy to trade. And if I notice that the types of conditions, these types of conditions maintain, I will probably have to move to New York PM session. But honestly, I would not like to do it because this is a probability game, and the probabilities have a green phase where everything just works inside the the favorable part of the probability, and there's always the red side of the probability whenever price is not acting, but it will switch at some time, and I don't want to switch to New York PM and then find out that okay, um, conditions on New York AM have been switched to better, and now I'm stuck with the New York PM. So that's why I'm a bit stubborn on keeping myself on New York PM or New York AM session. So yeah, guys, I think it's time to end this trading session. Once again, no trades. But yeah, I think it's better like this. It's better not to have any trades than to have losing trades. I guess it's the better choice and it's the best decision and the best choice whenever you have a zigzag market like this, when things are quite hard to frame. So I believe that we will still go higher in price, that we will eventually move to -2 standard deviation, eventually taking London high as the next drawn liquidity. But yeah, I'm not willing to take the chance to get myself into something that is hardly wicking here. And at some point I will get stopped out and my frustration will build and I will end up doing something that I don't want. So that's why I'm removing myself from the charts for today. And yeah, that's it, I think. So yeah, guys, tomorrow there will be another day. Thank you for being there. Thank you for supporting the stream as well. I hope to see you tomorrow at the same time, in between 9:50 to 9:30 a.m. New York local time. It's always the same. So thank you very much for being there, and I hope to see you tomorrow. And have a good afternoon. Thank you. Stay safe, guys. Okay. Thank you.